I click the links to support the channel. It's $3 or nudes. The choice is yours. So far, I have collected about $75 from my militia slash cult up in Idaho. So chop chop. Before we get started, let's take a look at the players. This is Red Sonja, because of course she is. And this is the guy originally involved with the project before he got replaced by just a real piece of work. Okay, so Hollywood and the media and the humiliation ritual, and me trying to explain this in a polite way to the normies so they can understand without automatically just shutting down because it's like too much. It's like a puzzle that just needs a few pieces to resolve the image, and that one of those pieces is that if you imagine Hollywood is a collection of demonic parasites whose only goal in life is to destroy cohesion, Christianity, civilization, that things will start to fit into place. Just keep that in the back of your mind as you scroll through what you're seeing, the new world order on your TV, your internet, your films, your entertainment. Just imagine these people as everything evil, and things will start to, because a lot of this stuff is counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. You see these people and you're like, wow, these people seem really evil. Why are they doing this? Yes, that's the plot twist, is that they're actually evil. And no, I don't know if they're reptilian lizard people from another dimension. They're just a very evil people. So this is a guy involved in Red Sonja, who's a half Nigerian girl, half something else girl. And like I understand finding a tall red-haired actress would be probably a challenge. Does she have to be Scandinavian and over 5'10" at least? I don't know the odds of that. European at least. Yeah, she should probably be European at least. But this is Hollywood, where they do a lot of replacement of ethnically European people for most assuredly. Thor, Natalie Portman is, I think she's 40. She's 5'3", 120 pounds, and she comes from the Middle East. So no, she's not oh, sweet Jesus, that's fucked up, dude. What is it with these? Like I always say, Epstein Weinstein, but it's Singer and Alan Dershowitz and Woody Allen, Giselle Maxwell, Maria Abramovic. God, there's a whole lot of them. And pour one out for Isaac Cappy, because if you start, like, it's a small channel, and I'll be kicked off YouTube before I get in any serious trouble, which I guess they'll be doing me a favor, sort of, because if you have a big channel and you talk about this stuff, like Isaac Cappy and a bunch of other people, you will throw yourself off a freeway overpass and delete yourself. It's like you'll pull a Kevin Spacey, where all the accusers of Kevin Spacey just kind of deleted themselves. Isaac Cappy was naming names, so he pulled over on a freeway overpass and someone threw him over because he was on YouTube naming names. And it's like, well, we can't allow that to continue. Or if you're in a position where you're able to name names, like in a prison cell with cameras and guards, you might delete yourself using lavatory roll paper under the eyes of the guards, because money talks, and America is not a nation. It's a commercial zone. There's no like going to bat for your fellow American, because everyone's out for their own, because it's just a commercial zone. There's no anyway. Oh, and the media won't report on those Epstein things because the higher-ups in the media, the shot callers, also took trips to Epstein's island. So it's a little bit tricky when CNN, MSNBC, and all those others are in a position where they have to report on themselves. And guess what? It just doesn't happen. So the story just gets ignored, and everyone makes jokes about Epstein. But it's like, that story's still out there. Nobody's talking about it. It's kind of weird. Is the media completely corrupt and degenerate? And Yes. Yes would be the answer, and yes. So why do they do this kind of stuff? They do this because it's part of the Hollywood humiliation ritual where they're rubbing your nose in it. The ginger side, yeah, they're doing it with gingers, but for them, they consider blonde hair, blue eyes, and red hair, green eyes as the peak hierarchy of whiteness, and they hate like everything Scandinavian, everything Northern Western Europe is just they abhor it because it's everything they're not. They're a ugly, loathsome group of people, just vile, parasitical, metastasizing, cancerous worms who have to destroy because they can't build. They're parasites. That literal, yeah, parasites, figurative and literal, I think, who have to destroy everything beautiful. You know, Northern Europe, high trust, high IQ societies that actually function. But enough of that. This is a woman who, for some reason, the article puts forth that she's non-binary and something, some one of those special things. But she's like the director, the writer, so what does it matter what her binary choice is? And she has like those doll's eyes, those dark, soulless eyes are just, there's just nothing there but corruption, evil, filth, decay. So keep this face in mind. All right, the film was put on hold after director Bryan Singer had a string of allegations, and everyone's should be allowed due process. But while they investigate those allegations, he had a long string of young boys and men accusing him of Epstein, Weinstein type of things. So he was shuttled off, and he was replaced with that woman Soloway, who commented on the half Nigerian woman who is very attractive, not for this role, who said, Hannah is a very talented actress who we've been following for years, and she is Red Sonja. First of all, why are you speaking in the royal we? And obviously she's not Red Sonja. Hollywood hates you. They will do everything. They do. Why do you all this like spirit cooking nonsense? No, they're not actually Luciferians. They don't believe there's an actual anthropomorphic deity. But they do this kind of stuff because it's an affront to Christianity. It's like the Anton LaVey school of just everything has got to be filth and degeneracy and decay. Where the art... See, the thing is, they are into kids, though. Like, that's a legitimate... I mean, Epstein, Weinstein, Woody Allen, all these other Maxwells and Abramovics, it's like, conspiracy just means to plot something together, usually for a nefarious purpose. It literally, the Latin means to breathe, to come together and breathe together, to aspire as one, to plot and plan. So people will try to gaslight you by saying it's conspiracy. Well, yeah, legally, that's a term. You either prove it in a court of law or you don't. But it's also just a commonly used term of people plotting together, usually something underhanded. But they say it as if you're wearing tinfoil hats. Well, Epstein, Weinstein, Giselle Maxwell, all these Maria Abramovics, those are conspiracies to commit horrendous crimes against children that actually happened. And Hollywood is very, very... You saw this guy Singer and Weinstein, and there's a bunch of other guys like him in Hollywood. It's actually happening. Yes, they did conspire to hurt people, women and children. If you knew about Weinstein, or you're his secretary, or you work for him and you got him girls, then you were part of that conspiracy. There's a thing, at least at common law, about how a woman can be accused of the common law felony of struggle snuggling a woman, and through conspiracy theory, she doesn't actually have to commit the crime. She just has to be a party to the conspiracy, or say her husband commits the crime, but she can be found legally liable just due to... It's like a felony murder rule. You don't actually have to commit the act to be found guilty of murder one, because you created a situation that was the causation of those acts through your bad acts. Where's I going with this? So they do this kind of stuff with the ginger side. They replace red-haired, blonde-haired people. Or, like I've been saying in comic books for the past year, and I mean, I've been reading more comics, and it's getting worse. I could do this daily, but those videos only get like 40 views. And eventually YouTube's going to say, yeah, we don't want you calling out anti-white racism because it makes everybody uncomfortable. And eventually the channel would go away, so I would just have to stick to BitChute and Odysee. And so this is a humiliation ritual to their art with the kids, and they put it out in front of everyone's face. Or who was that guy who had it was like one of the Rothschilds, had a painting of George Bush playing with the two towers, and they put it in everyone's face. These guys will have paintings of kids, like one hand over their eyes, and all this kind of weird symbolism. And like, there's a lot of far out channels that will talk about this kind of stuff, and they're a little bit far out, but it doesn't matter if these people actually believe in anthropomorphic gods or not. I don't think they do. I think they believe in cocaine and having a lot of sex with underage people. So it doesn't matter if they're actually Satanists or not. I don't think most of them are. But if they behave as a Satanist would behave in hurting people, well, then it's a moot point, right? You just go after it. You punish the act, not the mens rea itself. Anyway, I don't know if this can go on YouTube. The first time I tried this, it got way out there, and I put it on BitChute and Odysee. So hopefully this will be okay. Guys, if you want to support the channel, you can, of course, send nudes, or $3. Choice is yours. Unless you're fat and ugly, then please don't send nudes. All right, guys, I'll see you next episode.